Have a nice day. Today is Monday, 1st of January 2024. 1st January is celebrated as Global Family Day. It is celebrated as the day of peace and sharing. Its aim is to unite and spread message of peace by considering and promoting the idea of that Earth is a one global family, so as to make the world a better place to live for everyone. Starting the newspaper analyst with the newspaper The Hindu states that David Warner retires from one-day cricket ahead of Test farewell. The 37-year-old will pad up in his 112th and final test this week, having plundered 8,695 runs at an average of 44.58 with the 26 centuries and 36 half centuries. Australia's David Warner looks on before a team photo ahead of the third test match between Australia and Pakistan at the Sydney cricket ground in Sydney on January 1st, 2024. The Hindu newspaper also states that digital transformation of classroom teaching in Andhra education system mark 2023. Andhra Pradesh state has total number of 58,950 schools, out of which 44,617 are in the government sector, 13,249 are in private unaided, including Madras, and 1,084 private aided management schools. Image for representation purpose only. The Hindu newspaper also states that morning there's just fresh gunfights and curfew imposed in Manipur 4G mobile services for 1,117 border outposts in the next 6 years, MHA and more. Curfew was imposed on December 31st in rescue Manipur's Moreh at a town on the India-Myanmar border, following intermittent gunfights between armed miscreants. The Hindu newspaper also states that peace accord, shameful political settlement are not possible when goals ideal is given up. ULFA first. The hardliner ULFA first, led by Mr. Barrow, was unwillingly to come to the negotiating table unless the issue of Assam's sovereignty was discussed with the faction engaging in a sporadic incidents of violence as security forces intensified operations. When was the Indian Express newspaper states that backstory, more resources are better reach, help from unsung mentors. The Indian Express investigation threw up a series of telling numbers. Take to around 65% of the medalists are from families with less than rupees 5 lakh income per annum, and 33% were born and raised in rural India. India's tally at the 2002 Asian Games was 36 medals. In 2014, that count climbed to 57, and 2023 saw the giant leap as the century barrier was broken. What explains this threefold surge? The answer lies in the stories of the 256 Hangzhou medalists. Son of the Daily Wager from Sonbhadra in UP, Rambabu, his home above, worked under NREGS in COVID. He won a race walking bronze. Indian Express also states that NIA identifies 43 Khalistan supporters involved in violence at Indian mission abroad. Scales up a crackdown on terror network, arrests 625 people, registers 68 cases in 2023. The National Investigation Agency NIA has identified 43 Khalistan supporters allegedly involved in violence at the India High Commission in London during a protest on March 19, and also was allegedly targeted at the Indian consulate in San Francisco on July 2nd. Pro-Khalistani protesters tried to vandalize the Indian High Commission in London and pulled down the national flag while holding protests outside the High Commission complex. Indian Express also states that Happy New Year, Luke, where most of the India's medals come from village and town, under the rupees 5 lakh annual income farmers family. Since the record Asian Games held this October, the Indian Express tracked down all 256 medalists to plot each one's journey to the podium, their income, place of origin, education, first break. The numbers tell a story of challenge, change, and enduring hope. Raising a heptathlete daughter was struggle for a father banking on the earnings of his tiny check in Ballari. Karnataka. That is not much of an issue for a coffee plantation owner in Krog, whose son early on decided that tennis was his calling. In 2002, 36% of the Indian Asian Games medals were secured by women. In 2023, the share went up to 43%. From the graphics of the day from the Hindustan Times, Expo set to take off in New Year. On January 1st, that's today, the Indian Space Research Organization ISRO will launch its first X-ray polarimeter satellite, XPOSat, into the low Earth orbit to investigate the polarization of the intense X-ray source and look at how the mission seeks to cement India's stature amongst the spacefaring nations. Sometimes also states that charges for Navalaka's protection under house arrest exceed rupees 1 crore. Mumbai human rights activist and journalist Gautam Navakha, an accused in the Bhima Koregaon conspiracy case, who was placed under house arrest by the Bombay High Court last November, has run up by a bill exceeding rupees 1 crore towards the round-the-clock police protection at his residence. Charges for Navalaka's protection under the house arrest exceed rupees 1 crore. Sometimes also states that 3 is charged with rape of IIT BHU student. Opposition says link to BJP. The Uttar Pradesh police on Sunday arrested 3 people and charged them with a gang rape for illegally sexually assaulting a student inside the Indian Institute of Technology, Banaras Hindu University campus in November. The arrest, which came 2 months after the protests broke out in the institute. IIT BHU students take out the protest to a march demanding justice on November 8. The Times also states that 107 drones shot down 442 kg heroin seized in 2023 in Punjab BSF. The BSF troops on the Punjab frontier detected and downed 107 drones and seized 442 kg of heroin, 23 weapons, 505 rounds of ammunition, killed 3 Pakistani intruders and apprehended 23 Pakistan nationals, including the 2 smugglers, 14 Bangladesh nationals, and 95 Indian suspects, including 35 smugglers in the different incidents in Punjab in the year 2023. The Border Security Force, BSF troops of the Punjab frontier detected and downed 107 drones and seized 442 kg of heroin, 23 weapons, 505 rounds of ammunition, killed 3 Pakistan intruders, and apprehended 23 Pakistan nationals, including 2 smugglers, 14 Bangladesh nationals, and 95 Indian suspects, including 35 smugglers in different incidents in Punjab in the year 2023. Going towards the economy of the country from the business point of view, Centre appoints Arvind Panagaria as chairman of 16th Finance Commission. Days before Panagaria's term as the Niti Aayog vice chairman came to an end on August 31, 2017, the Prime Minister appreciated his contribution in shaping Niti Aayog and described him as his great friend. Arvind Panagaria served as the India's G20 Sherpa in 2017. In 2023, he was appointed as the Chancellor of the Nalanda University. The central government on Sunday appointed former Niti Aayog Vice Chairman Arvind Panagaria as the chairman of the 16th Finance Commission, as per a notification issued by the Ministry of Finance Department of Economic Affairs. Indian Administrative Service IAS officer Ritvik Ranjanam Pandey will be the secretary of the commission. The members of the commission will be notified separately, said the notification issued on Sunday. India's Russian oil imports hit 11-month low in December as coal cargoes dry up. India's Russian oil imports declined to an 11-month low in December as the country was unable to take delivery of any cargo of the coal-grade crude. Even as the import volumes of the Urals crude, the mainstay of India's oil imports from Russia remained robust in the last month of 2023, showed an analysis of latest shipping data provided by the Commodity Market Analytics from Kepler. India's refiners cumulatively imported 1.48 million BPD of Russian oil in December. NSE investor BSE grows to 8.5 crore. In 2023, Maharashtra tops followed by the Uttar Pradesh. The benchmark Nifty index touched 20,000 on September 11, 2023 and 21,000 on December 8, 2023. Nifty index returned 20% returns in 2023 and closed at 21,731 in 2023. India's market capitalization crossed $4 trillion in December 2023. The investor base of the National Stock Exchange increased by 22% from 7 crore to 8.54 crore during a calendar year 2023, underscoring the growing retail investor participation in the stock market. Market capitalization on NSE emerged. Listed companies SMEs crossed rupees 1 lakh crore mark for the first time since platform inception in 2012. Point over the world news, including Israelis jets pound central Gaza as Netanyahu indicates longer war. Denmark's Queen Margrethe II announces surprise abdication on live TV. More Rohingya refugees arrive in Indonesia despite rejection from locals. Putin lauded Russian unity in his New Year's address as Ukraine war overshadows celebration. Maersk pauses Red Sea sailings after the Houthi attack on container ship. Taliban say security forces killed dozens of Tajiks. Pakistanians involved in the attack in Afghanistan. Going towards the science and technology, Indian Space Research Organization New Year launched Spatial Space Observatory X-ray telescope, the PSLV C-58 rocket with the primary payload, XPOSat, and 10 other satellites to be deployed in low Earth orbits, is scheduled to lift off from the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota at 9:10 a.m. on Monday. The Indian Space Research Organization ISRO is set to begin the new year with the launch of its first X-ray polarimeter satellite XPOSat, a space-based observatory to study the X-ray polarization and its cosmic sources. The payload for the X-ray polarimeter satellite mission. Indian Space Research Organization to usher in 2024 with the launch of the dedicated scientific satellite in steady black holes. The PSLV C-58 rocket in its 60th mission would carry a primary payload XPOSat and 10 other satellites to be deployed in the low Earth orbits. Indian Space Research Organization is set to welcome the new year with the launch of its first X-ray polarimeter satellite that would offer insight into celestial objects like black holes on board a Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle rocket on Monday. Indian Space Research Organization flight test vehicle abort mission TVD-1. The 24-hour countdown commenced on Sunday for the lift-off scheduled 9:10 a.m. from the first launch pad at its spaceport located about 135 kilometers east of Chennai on January 1st. The countdown commenced for PSLV C-58 at 8:10 a.m. today, ISRO sources said. The X-ray polarimeter satellite XPOSat is aimed to investigate the polarization of the intense X-ray source in space. At last is a famous quotation shared by a famous scholar of India, that is Sir Chandrasekhar Venkata Raman, or C.V. Raman, whose birth anniversary is 7 November 1888 up to 21st of November 1970. Was an Indian physicist known for his work in the field of light scattering. Using a spectrograph that he developed, and he and his student K.S. Krishnanan discovered that when light traverses a transparent material, the deflected light changes its wavelength and frequency. This phenomenon, a heteroto unknown type of scattering of light, which they called modified scattering, was subsequently termed the Raman effect or Raman scattering. Raman received the 1930 Nobel Prize in Physics for the discovery and was the first Asian to receive Nobel Prize in any branch of science. Mr. Raman says a famous quotation. He says that we consider the fact that nearly 3/4 of the surface of the Earth globe is covered by oceanic water, we began to realize that the molecular scattering of light in liquids may be possess an astronomical significance. In fact, contribute in an important degree to the observed albedo of the Earth.